Good morning, America. This is Butch, your host on this channel. Welcome back. And here we are at Poncho Villa State Park in New Mexico, near Columbus, New Mexico, south of Deming, about 17 miles. We just circled around a circular drive in front of the Visitor Center and Museum, which is definitely worth popping into for a while. And I understand they also have a 20-minute video you can watch and learn all about Poncho Villa and what he did here and why they try to chase him down. And it's a long story. And there are many different sides, I'm sure, as to what happened back in 1916, over 100 years ago. But the park is real nice. You can see while you come in and it's paved, but it quickly turns into gravel. But all of the gravel roads were very well maintained and very smooth. Very little washboard action on the gravel roads, and they're very wide. There's lots of room. The sites are spread out really far. There are some areas that are just vacant. Actually, you could swing the longest fifth wheel you've ever seen around in some of these areas, and very well manicured with all of the vegetation that's protected from the traffic. They've gone to great lengths to pile up all these stones around the edge so people don't drive over the vegetation, which down here with so little rain takes centuries to grow. So that's nice. And it's very flat. The sites are flat. That's my rig on the right. We just saw there my cargo trailer. And this is the North Loop, where I had electric and water for $4 a night, plus $4 for the reservation fee, which is not bad. But that reservation fee is kind of exorbitant, I think. Anyway, here's a tree. Woo, look, a tree. You don't see too many of those around here in this part of the desert. Probably something planted and then taken care of very meticulously. I believe this became a state park in 1959. Again, in recognition of Poncho Villa, who was a Mexican general by some accounts and a criminal, and did some bad things, including attacking the town of Columbus and killing a few soldiers and some civilians. So, as the story goes, the U.S. government sent a U.S. general down here and created some kind of fort and set things up. They actually brought in some four-wheel drive vehicles to carry the troops down into Mexico to hunt down Poncho Villa. They never found him, but in the meantime, the Army developed a very good working knowledge of four-wheel drive vehicles for transporting troops. There's one site here should be coming up on the video soon, where they built a concrete platform that the vehicles could drive up onto so that they could be maintained from below, like changing the oil or greasing the joints and things like that. But as you see, here's another stretch of asphalt, and on the right is a canal, a ditch, a drainage ditch separating the park from the city of Columbus. You can actually walk into Columbus, where they have some restaurants and I think at least one grocery store. I didn't go to the grocery store, but I did read that there was one there. Then there was also an airport across the street from the park, where they had a biplane or more that would be used for reconnaissance in chasing down these so-called Mexican criminals. They there you go. That's the military air base, which was across the street. You can pause and read that if you want. But yeah, they actually have an event once a year where they invite people up from the adjoining city across the border in Mexico, which is only about 5 miles away. You can actually go on top of Coots Hill, which I think we get some footage of here in a little while, which is a mound about, I don't know, maybe 15 feet high. And it's reported that you can see Mexico from there and the surrounding area, which is believable because this area is so flat. This is the place where they built the concrete structure where they could maintain the vehicles for their use in these dusty deserts. So here you get a little placard describing how this park came to be in the history of Poncho Villa and General Pershing, who came here to set up a base and try to chase him down. I believe they were after him for over a year. And then it eventually gave up, and it was never found out what actually happened to him. So here we are going further around the park. You can see the wide gravel roads. The vegetation is marked off and neatly protected behind the rocks. There are pavilions for group use. They have one dumpster. I saw that they had garbage cans at each site once upon a time. Saw that in some pictures I found online on one of the sites that helps you find campsites. Those pictures showed every site with a garbage can or two, and I saw behind a fenced area that looked like it was meant for the maintenance workers to um, store things, a stockpile of used galvanized garbage cans. So now they have a dumpster. I only saw one dumpster in the whole park. I believe there are some 70 sites here, including the primitive sites. Um, this is one of the exhibits, which is fenced off and covered. So this building is over 100 years old, and I believe this was either the master at arms or an armory or custom station. They had lots of things around the park that you could look at. So this park is definitely worth coming to for a few days. Now, this is the comfort station, which has bathrooms, and I went in the men's bathroom and saw that it was fairly neat and clean with a shower, free, included in your daily fees. Here we are coming past a dump station. And here you can see just how flat this place really is. And wow, the wind really howled one day that I was there. The weather report actually issued a warning, a weather warning, a wind warning that dust could be limiting visibility on the roads, so I definitely wasn't going to go anywhere, and actually spent most of the day in my trailer because the wind was so strong outside that it was just unpleasant to be out there, and I had to keep the place buttoned up too because the dust was just coming in. No matter how tightly buttoned up I had everything, there was dust everywhere. The keyboard, the tables. I was constantly cleaning it up with shop towels. Here we see more of the park, and you can see that they have lots of shelters and many different kinds of parking areas. I've talked to one nice guy who was in a handicapped zone, and it was actually paved, and he could get around on his wheelchair pretty easily. And all kinds of different rigs. Everything from fifth wheels, Class A's, to some overland rigs that looked like they came out of Moab. I saw one interesting vehicle that was painted the same color as a UPS truck, so it kind of looked stealthy in that it looked like a delivery truck. Of course, it didn't say UPS on it or anything, and it was pulling a windowless trailer. So that setup looked pretty sweet because the box truck definitely had at least 16 feet of room in the back with a high ceiling. And then with the trailer, even more room to bring all the toys you want to. Here's a good view of how they set up the rocks in the area to try to keep the traffic limited to the areas, which, like I said, are very, very ample. And no matter how ample the roadways are, some people are going to be wandering around and walk right through the middle of your campsite as if they were lost. And I just don't get it. I don't understand how people can just invade your privacy like that and just walk right through your campsite. It's sort of like, duh, hello there. So, hats off to those people. May they break a leg. Enough of that rant. So, I'll leave you with the last few minutes of this park. This footage was taken with my GoPro on the handlebar of my e-bike. Talk to you later. Y'all have a good one. Bye now.